guys. I'm going to be talking about how to use VS Code when writing your C program, and I'm going to be explaining all that step by step. So, um, in my last video, you guys have seen um, how to install VS Code, and I know most of you guys must have tried to open this VS Code and try some of the features. But at first, it's very confusing because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of features it provides. And first of all, I need to talk why VS Code is very important. And it's very important because it is useful when you need to debug your program. And what I mean by debugging is when you try to find a solution to any error your program is giving you. Let's say you're writing a program and this program is giving you errors and you're trying to find the problem. VS Code is very useful to debug, to check your code line by line and know what is actually happening. And that's why we use VS Code. And you can add a lot. There are so many features. Or we have so many languages. We have so many languages. Um, we have Fortran, we have Pascal, we have C, we have Python, we have so it's not, it doesn't make sense when you have all these languages separately. It doesn't make any sense. um that's why we prefer VS Code, where we can actually have all this language together in um one program, in one application. So you can actually write any type of program language you're trying to write with this VS Code. So that's why it's very important. You don't need to download Python, download all those different compilers. You don't need to, because Python have its own ideally it has its own, so you don't need all that. It's better to just use VS Code to write any language you want, and you select which language you write in. And that's why VS Code is very important. And it's also useful in terms of it gives you suggestion to any problem. It guides you and make writing program more easier than just writing without VS Code. So VS Code provide a lot of features, a lot of things, and you can directly compile your program from VS Code after installing your compiler. And I've explained what compiler means and why we need to compile C language, C program. Sorry, why we need to compile C program. And this is actually for Mac. So this is actually for Mac. I need to include that for Mac because I'm gonna be talking about Windows later on in my next video. And first of all, once you open your VS Code, I need you guys to open your VS Code now. Just open your VS Code, then just look at the left side. I'm gonna open my VS Code too, so maybe I just need to do that. But first of all, I need to explain extension. I also need to explain Explorer. So let me just explain Explorer. So Explorer, if by the time we open our VS Code, I'm going to show you guys Explorer, but I want to explain what Explorer does. Explorer is actually a reminder. It's a reminder that actually take you back to where you stop. So let's say you're writing your program and you stop at some point, you close your laptop. Explorer take you back to where you stop. That's the work of Explorer. But Explorer needs something before it can actually remind you. It needs something from you. Let me make a scenario. Let's say you try to give me a key. So let me draw a key. So you try to give me this key, and you want me to keep this key. You just tell me to keep this key in cupboard. uh you told me to help you keep this key inside a cupboard, and or let's say a wardrobe. Let's say a wardrobe. So let's say we have a wardrobe like this. So after you ask me to give you your key, and then when you ask me to give you your key, this is Explorer. This is actually this is Explorer. Then when you ask me to give you your key, then I'm gonna need you to tell me where did you tell me to keep your key. That's how Explorer works. So if you need your key, you need to tell me where you ask me to keep the key. So if you tell me you ask me to keep inside a wardrobe, then I'm gonna tell you where it is inside the wardrobe. The key can actually be here. It can also be here. It can be here. It can also be here. So once you tell me that this key is inside the wardrobe, I'm just gonna open the wardrobe and show you where the keys are. So let's say in this scenario you give me several keys, so it's not just one key, you give me like four keys, and I actually kept this key inside. I kept this key inside different angles in this wardrobe, and now you need your keys back. You just need to tell me that can you give me the key you kept inside the wardrobe. So you need to tell me where I kept the key, and then I'm gonna open this wardrobe and show you all your keys. That's how Explorer works. So this scenario, Explorer actually need folder. What I mean by folder is um is the wardrobe. This wardrobe is what I mean by folder, and that's what I mean by folder. So Explorer actually needs a folder. It needs you to give him a folder you were working on. So I'm gonna type right here a folder, and it needs a folder, and that's how Explorer works. So it needs a folder that is gonna remind him where you stop, and that's how it works. It's very important. So what we need to do, so every time you write your VS Code, you want to write a VS Code or any program, every time you want to write that, you need to open a folder. So first of all, you need to have a folder where you always have your program. So let's say C program. So if you're writing a C program, so you should have something like C folder or something like this, and make a folder like this. And you know you need to make a folder like this and just keep this folder. This folder is where you're gonna store all your program, and every time if you want to go back to your program, you just go to Explorer. You go to Explorer and you give him the folder, because it's going to ask for you to open the folder. Then you're going to select the folder, you go to desktop, then you select this folder, then Explorer is going to take you back to where you stop. That's how Explorer works. So I need to open my VS Code now. So I'm gonna be opening my VS Code. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how this is being done. And okay, now this is my VS Code. Oh, it's taking me back. So I need to start from afresh. I need to show you guys how it got here. So what I'm going to do, so I need to use my terminal. Um, and don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. If you want to set your terminal like this, I can actually show you guys. But this is command line tools that I actually did, and it's gonna open my VS Code. I can actually show you guys how to set your terminal, and then you can open your terminal. You can open your VS Code from the terminal and Now it opens the fresh page for me because I actually type code means it's going to open only the fresh page. And if I want him to open a folder, there's a way I can actually do that, but that's not what we're doing. So this is this is the VS Code, and you see that it shows so many things. We have a lot of things here. So when you go here, you see something, this extension, this is extension. So when you click extension, then you search for C/C++, like this. Now I've installed this, so you just search for this and you install this. This is what you actually need to do. I think my system is not connected to internet, so it's not loading, but this is what you need. This is what you actually need for your extension. Actually is just like an extra power for the VS Code to work properly, and to be able to write, to compile your C program, and also have extra features like when you're trying to debug, when you're trying to do a lot of things when writing your program. And here is where you run and debug. We're gonna be doing this when we start writing our program, so don't worry about that. And but this is when you want to run and debug, and I'm gonna explain what we mean by debugging. And here you don't need to worry about this, we're not doing this now. And this is what I talk when I talk about Explorer. This is what I mean by Explorer. You see Explorer, this is Explorer, and you see now it's asking me to open a folder, so I'm gonna open a folder now. Explorer is supposed to take me back to where I stopped, but now it needs me to ask to give him the folder, the name of the folder, then it's gonna take me back to where I stopped. And that's when I explained the scenario of key, where where keys actually was kept in a wardrobe, and you need to remind me where I kept the key. Then I can actually open the wardrobe and show you every angles where I kept your keys. And this folder now, I'm gonna click. I have a folder on my desktop, so this my folder where I do some other things. So now I'm clicking this, and gonna this, then it's gonna open the folder for me. And now you guys have seen that I'm seeing my code program, and this I'm a C program. This is one. When you see .c, any program that is actually having a name that ends with .c, it means it's a C program. So it means C program. So when you see here, you see that it's taking me back, it's opening them. So these are the code that I wrote, and I'm not done, so I just wrote them. So this and this a dot out, this we're not gonna be doing this, but I'm gonna be explaining why I have something like this. But this is the most important part, being able to open your folder and access every other files that you need to access. These are the files, and then I'm gonna be telling you guys, this is what I mean by breaking point, but we're gonna be doing that later on. So I think that's all. What I need to do after what we need to do after is installing a compiler on your Mac OS. So to install a compiler, it's not difficult, but it's not that every Mac have compiler. So you need to know that every Mac OS have compiler. So they have compiler, but this compiler needs to be installed by you, so it's not automatic. No, it's not installed already, but this compiler is there, so you just need to install it by yourself, because it's not everyone that actually use this. Not everyone needs compiler, so only the programmer that actually use compiler. So it's only programmer, so that's why they make sure they try to just leave it like that without installing it. Um so you need to install that, but I'm going to be making our video on how to install compiler, and how to run program and how to communicate with terminal and all that. But what I'm gonna do first before I teach you guys, we're gonna have understanding of C, and we're gonna write the program together, and then we're gonna compile that together. So I hope you guys understand this and you enjoy this.